What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Tuesday, I guess. But anyways, we're going to get into the Major League Baseball betting card on August 20th. All right, we have a lot of games to talk about. We're going to get through these. It is a later start this evening. There's no afternoon baseball, so it gives us time to get down to each and every game, as well as I'll have 5 best bets, okay? And on top of these 5 best bets, I'm going to throw out 2 Nerfies, a couple leans along the way, and then as always, let's stay hot. Let's keep that Discord play of the day going in the Discord. Very important because I think it's a very important feature of this channel. I don't make you guys pay for picks. It's kind of my thing. But within that Discord play of the day, that is my featured pick of the day. And you guys, if you're keeping score, let's just call it what it is. It's been absolutely on fire. Yesterday, just a quick recap, not so much. I did a 2.5 unit day. I did not bet big yesterday. Didn't really like the card overall. Was able to hit a parlay, so selfishly, some of the big money lines came out in that regard. But within that, we also had a couple losses that I gave out as my best picks, as well as taking a flyer on the Marlins with a half unit. So not able to come to fruition. So in the Discord, we were talking about it a lot. There were some people, not naming names, but they had some overs, they had some unders, and those games went in opposite directions than what was expected in both scenarios, and that happened to me as well. So within the games that we took within the Dodgers game, as well as the Oakland game as well. But earlier on in the day, we did cash some tickets within some of those totals as well. I kind of bet a lot of games yesterday, full disclosure, outside of my best bets. So it's very important when I'm doing these breakdowns, don't just follow my best plays necessarily and use that as the gospel. Obviously, the Discord play of the day is my favorite bet of the day. And right now it's not premium. It's just kind of given to you guys. And the only thing I ask is, couple things. Follow me on X, follow me on YouTube, subscribe, and make sure you guys follow me on Discord and tell a friend. All right. It's a great place to be. We're just waiting for football season to kick off, pun intended. And the other thing is, if you guys want to get on board with some of the ways that you can help me here on the channel, there is the channel memberships that are available. It's $10 a month. It's basically a Netflix subscription, and it keeps me going. So, like I said, I'm not going to make you guys charge for picks, but if you want to buy me a beer, buy me a coffee, the tip jar is always open. Okay. But that's kind of where we're at. Let's get into the picks without further ado. There's a lot of great games going in today's game slate. If you can, though, make sure you guys all subscribe down below. Smash that like button. And I always like reading your guys' plays as well. And that way, when I make my bets and then you guys are in the opposite way, I feel a little bit more confident at the window. Just kidding. I hope you guys all cash a lot of tickets, and quite frankly, that's why we're all here, right? Cashing tickets is what it's all about. And let's get down into the OddsJam. You can see right now, Diamondbacks, Marlins, first game on the card. All right, that's where we have kind of an interesting slate. The Diamondbacks are reeling a little bit, little injury concern, bug going around, and a couple people actually were asking me why my eyes wander in this video. It's plain and simple. I have tons of screens going, so I want to, sometimes see what's going on. So just forgive me. Like I said, I'm a bettor first, not a YouTuber. So I appreciate the concern and comments, but I'm just trying to do this in the only way I know possible. All right. Eduardo Rodriguez and Edward Cabrera, Diamondbacks, Marlins. Like I said, this is a no play for me. If you were going to get behind the Marlins, I'm not going to be mad at you. The Diamondbacks winning 9-6 yesterday. I think this is a good spot for the over as well. I'm not quite frankly sure why we're seeing a 7.5. All right, it's a little fishy. If I had to give you guys a best play in this game, my lean would be towards the over 7.5. And I do always like taking plus money with the Marlins, just not so much any value with that plus 135. So 7.5 for the over would be my lean. Okay. The next one is the Colorado Rockies and Washington Nationals. Okay. We're going to skip over that one. Wink, wink. All right. So maybe we'll hear about that one a little bit later on in the day. But the next game on the card will be the Guardians and the Yankees. All right. Luis Hill going against Matthew Boyd. This is Yankees or nothing. And for a tried and true Indians fan, it pains me to say that. They're clinging to that lead within the AL Central, but a lot of futures have been kind of juicy if you do think that the Twins get involved and honestly have a shot to take that number 1 spot. I don't see it. We'll see what happens. there's a lot of baseball left to be played. But Matthew Boyd, let's look at that 1.69 ERA, starting this one off. I'm not a big fan of Hill. He's a little bit up and down as of recent. He's been a little bit better, but still not where we were to start off the season. Where we're talking Cy Young for this rookie, and he almost had that Paul Skeens flair in terms of being a young hot pitcher. Yankees at home. I could see a lot of runs in this game. 8.5 though. It's just a little bit tempting to stay away from the 8.5. You can find an 8 out there at -110. Circa is that best number available, and that's kind of why you want to be using OddsJam. Okay, so if you do want to get involved, this is a great time because football season just around the corner. If you guys are big fantasy players, that's where you definitely need to use OddsJam. We'll have a link down below. And please, when you sign up, use promo code TBM. You'll get 35% off your first month and or annual plan. If you build lineups in fantasy, you use models, you like to use AI, incorporate a lot of that, intel and data. It's not just that OddsJam can offer, but the number one reason why I use it is right there in front of your face. You're out with friends, you're at a bar, you can't really, spend too much time away from the woman, or man for that matter, for all my ladies watching in the house, or, if you're up to your own business, that's your business. But anyways, that's kind of where I'm getting to, right? It's something very important within OddsJam because you can see right here, and last night was a great example. I was able to take advantage of it as well. But why lay $1.20 almost for a half, 5 cents more for half a run, more. The hooks matter. They truly do. Football season, it's truly invaluable. Just by using OddsJam, I bet a preseason game the other day. I got 5 cents less juice, and I got a full 39 on an under versus 38.5, which was the consensus number in the market for the total. So that's just where I'm at. Check it out for yourself. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it. Link down below. Like I said, use that promo code TBM to get 35% off an annual plan, which is the best value out there. Okay, I use it every day. But let's get into the next game. Like I said, the Reds and Blue Jays. This has been a Reds storyline thus far. We saw what happened yesterday. That was a good money line call for a lot of you guys that took the Reds. I just didn't want to get involved. And now we have Jose Berrios going against the Reds as well. Another reason why I'm going to stay away from it. But I do like the young pitcher Carson Spears. This is a game where I do see no matter who's pitching, this matchup just lends to more runs. You can see that right now, juiced up -125 on the over 8. That's kind of where my heart would be as well. And I do favor the Reds. I just don't like necessarily betting against Jose Berrios. Despite his 11-9 decision record on the season, it's kind of interesting, right? But the Reds have been playing good ball for the most part. I'm confident if you take them on the road at +126, that's a nice little value there. And couple that with the over potentially. That's kind of where my leans would be, but no official play in that matchup. All right, and then let's get into the first official play. Yesterday was a great call within the Mets. It was a chalky play. And I wrote it within my parlay, but I did not give it out as an individual play. And today we're going to back the Mets here -113. I like them more so today. Jose Quintana pitching for the Mets. Sometimes the Orioles can get into a funk. I'm a little bit worried about them in terms of postseason performance, right? We've seen the likes of Corbin Burns, great acquisition. However, not really his best stuff lately. He's not pitching tonight, but we have Dean Kramer. And full disclosure, guys, this will be an official play. But whenever I bet against Dean Kramer, he usually goes like 7 and a third innings and just absolutely shoves. But we are going to take against him, especially being on the road. I like the Mets in the spot. This is one of my best value plays of the day, -113, taking the Mets on the money line. That's just where I'm at. Also, the over 8 is another strong lean, but I do like just taking the Mets straight up on the money line at that low price. Okay, so that will be my first official play. The next one out there is Philadelphia and Atlanta. Okay, we will have this featured as a no-run first inning bet. Ronaldo Lopez and Zach Wheeler, come out with your stuff, get the job done, guns blazing. Let's get through that first inning and cash that ticket right off the bat. That's kind of where I'm at within this, taking the no-run first inning bet. I don't have a indication on a side. Also, Austin Riley's, factoring into my Braves handicaps. But it is what it is. We'll get through that. I love betting the Braves. Braves and Dodgers are kind of my go-tos if I need a win at times. But right now in this spot, I'm not going to bet against Zach Wheeler and take either team in a coin flip. But plus 122 on a Braves team at home is something where I'm not really against that. Okay. Usually that kind of means with a road favorite that, there's some heavy favoring going on, some big weight on those bets against for the Phillies. But I do like to fade the Phillies a little bit on the road. So if you did want to take a side and you had to put a gun to my head, I probably would go in the direction of Braves with that plus 122 value. Okay. Next game is Milwaukee and St. Louis. This will be an official play. We will have the likes of Frankie Montas going against Eric Fedde. Now, this game I want to talk a little bit about, okay, and this is a plus money value pick for me. We're going to be taking Milwaukee plus 109. We're seeing a little bit of a buyback on this number against the opening number that we had out there in the market. And I think the Brewers are just playing some really hot baseball, 72-52 on the season. They've won a pretty healthy streak, okay, dating back at least 10 games. So we can conversely say the opposite for the Cardinals, okay? They have lost the same amount that the Brewers have won, essentially. And I like the Brewers on the road from a home versus road split perspective, okay? Couple that with Eric Fedde and just basically seeing those numbers since being acquired from St. Louis. I really, really like the Brewers here on the money line. And I think the wrong team's favored. I'm just going to be blunt with you guys. I don't understand why they're not, other than being on the road. But this is kind of where I'm at. So we're taking the Brew Crew here at plus 109. And I'm just going to tease it a little bit. But this was very close to being the Discord play of the day. So if I had to give out a silver medal, a little shout out to the Olympics that just took place, I would be diving into the Brewers money line with this plus money value. All right, Pirates, Rangers, this will be another play, but will be along the lines of a no-run first inning bet. Love taking Pirates NRFIs. We get Cody Bradford going against Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller has been pretty much locked down. I love him in the first inning. So Pittsburgh, Texas, that will be a no-run first inning bet in one of my best bets. Okay, Detroit and the Cubs, we're not going to talk about. There is no pitcher listed for Detroit at this moment. 8:05 first pitch. I don't have a clear side either. It's kind of one of those weird little coin flip games. Cubs minus 140 at home. They've been coming on strong recently, but also Detroit's kind of flashy. Too much variance within them right now outside of skewball pitching and then the departure of Jack Flaherty. Kind of a team that I've been staying away from if you guys have been watching me for a while. So I get in these little rhythms where I either am going for or against teams, and I usually ride them until those trends buck, and that's kind of my feel and a little bit of my betting style, if you guys haven't caught on by now. Okay, Kansas City and Angels, that will be another official play. We are going to take this. And I do like the Kansas City Royals again, but minus 188 is a little bit too much for me to handle. We could take the run line at plus 112. That would not be a bad avenue as well. If you want to get a little fancy, find some insurance out there, take a minus one. That way you do get a push if they only win by one. We saw it last night within the Discord play of the day. We had the Giants and Royals. I gave out the Royals run line as well for those of you that wanted to kind of dive a little deeper, and that paid a pretty good price if you were able to do that. But both of those games ended up at 5-3, and despite looking like they were clear runaways, so a little bit of threat later on in those matchups. So a lot of things went in our direction with those later games, but nonetheless, we're still back in Kansas City, but we're going to do this in terms of an under. Okay, Tyler Anderson, he can get the job done. The Royals can go cold a little bit from the plate outside of Bobby Witt. And now we have the Royals pitching Cole Reagans, which his numbers have been fantastic. The Angels can't hit the baseball. So within his handicap, I think it's pretty straightforward. I look for this to be definitely under 8.5. Minus 115 is a great number too. Great value behind that play. So I am taking the Royals Angels under 8.5. Okay, Red Sox in Boston. I'm not going to bet this game. I wanted to back Ronel Blanco, winning in walk-off fashion last night too. Give them a little momentum at home. Nick Pivetta, though, has been kind of my kryptonite, so that's the sole reason why I'm not betting this game. Can't really seem to pen him for either having a good start or bad start. So in terms of the Boston Astros game, minus 114 for the Astros would be my lean, but I'm going to stay away from that one as well. And then we get into San Diego and Minnesota, Bailey O'Bear and Martin Perez. It's pretty much a straight up simple handicap too. San Diego has been one of the hotter teams in baseball. Minnesota, great pitcher going right now, but still, I think the Padres at home, they're the safe play. I'm not going to back them though, just for one sole reason. I don't like the number, okay? I don't like the number. It's a little bit fishy. I would have the Padres favored in this game. They're not. It's a coin flip still, albeit, but still, if I was going to bet this, plus 1.5 for the Padres would really tempt me to laying that $1.68. So if I was going to lay this game, it would be within that minus 168 number, taking the run line with the Padres getting a run and a half, okay? The next game out there is Tampa Bay and Oakland. That is Shane Baz going against Joey Estes. You know me, I love me some athletics. This is an athletics money line play or nothing. I'm not going to bet it, but that's kind of where I'm at within this handicap, okay? And then we could get into the White Sox and Giants. Okay, this will be another backing of the Giants. I've been a big fan of Robbie Ray. He had a lot of great starts coming back and making his debut, and then a lot of bad starts. But simple one out here, guys. Minus 1.5, minus 108. We're going to back the run line. Just fading the White Sox. I think that was demoralizing yesterday what happened. They went through some arms as well, and really they did everything they could have done to win that game. You talk about late game heroics, runners left on base. They had a lot of hits. They had the early lead. I could go down the list. Everything you want for if you're going to like construct a game where you want to get out of there with a victory, and they're just not converting. And the Giants played, a little bit streaky, clutch hitting, and that's what the game's all about. There was a subscriber that was talking to me in the comments about a game that I bet, and I'm going to be the first one to tell you guys, I'm not here to bullshit anybody. Sometimes you need to get lucky, but you trust the handicaps. You got to remember, there's nine innings for a reason. You don't lose the game in the ninth. You don't lose the game in the first inning. Simply put, yes, you can put yourself against a wall, but if you ever played the game, it really does take all 9 innings and all 27 outs to get a win or a loss. Okay, so it feels that way at times. Like with the exception of maybe you could use some weird example like it was the umpire's fault. But umps don't blow the games, right? If you have a 3-0 lead in the ninth, you give up 4 runs in the ninth. You didn't lose it in the ninth. You didn't score enough runs in the first through 8 innings, okay? And that's just something where it probably doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but it's just you got to take my word on that one. So, but we are going to be taking the Giants on the run line, fading the White Sox, just fading the White Sox, 30-96 on the season. What more can be said? All right, and then we do have another play. We're going back to Dodgers, Mariners. We are going to take the over 8. Right now, you can find that. Shop around. It's a little juicy. I'm not willing to lay the 8.5. I want to have a push on 8 if we do get a 5-3 game. I think we're going to see runs. The Mariners on the road have been, historically, as of recent, very, very much a offensive, increasingly trending up with their offensive output. I'm not a fan of Walker Buehler this year. I think that the Mariners can put up 4, possibly 4+. And I think conversely, the Dodgers getting 3 yesterday against Brian Wu, I think that they can get at least 4 themselves. So that's why I want to be at that 8, because I have both of these team totals right there at that 3.5 mark if I was going to handicap this game. So looking for a push or better. It's just kind of a safer play for me, and I really like the over in the Los Angeles Dodgers over 8. Okay, so that about wrap it up. Here's a quick recap. Guys, remember, this is the best time you can do it. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so. Follow me on X, Discord, all that good stuff. Become a channel member. Check out OddsJam. Give back to the channel. Anything you want to do. Just don't, the only thing I ask from you guys is please remember, please gamble responsibly. I'm guilty at times, and, this is something where football season's heating up. It's going to get weird. That's just me being honest with y'all. It's a very, very tough time, especially with fantasy football. In 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock games. I've been there. We've all been through that. You can chase. I mean, it's a thing. So just be very cognizant of where you are at. Never gamble more than you can afford to lose, and all those, core principles of betting every day. Okay. That's kind of where we're at with what's on with the channel announcements. Here's my recap. You guys can read those for yourselves. But we will be over the Discord live. I will be giving that pick probably around, I think I'll give it around 3 o'clock. We'll just give you guys enough time to watch it. Let this get out to a few people for a couple hours. Appreciate you all. Thanks for all being part of the team. I really do want to thank you guys, though, because it is something we're building something special here, and I want to keep the momentum running. And feel free to drop me a line over in Discord or on X if you ever want to talk. When the channel does get to a little bit bigger size, that's going to be probably an issue. But right now, in this early stages, there is still room for those discussions and whatnot. But good luck with all your bets. We won't have anything really going for football. Maybe preseason Thursday. I am going to have. I've been saying it, but it's been really busy, and now fantasy football drafts are starting up. So we are going to be really hitting into football in a very, very kind of crazy fashion. I'm going to do a live stream. I did one a little earlier on where I did kind of divisional power ranking stuff, but I am going to talk to you guys about position rankings, how I view kind of an updated, into the preseason outlook on a lot of teams, a lot of sleeper bets, a lot of future plays, really kind of come full circle and break everything down for you guys. So make sure you all turn on the notification bell because I'm not sure how YouTube's going to handle my stuff in terms of football because the only football I covered once I started my channel a couple months ago was only with the likes of the Super Bowl. So I got to tap into that algorithm. I'll need your guys' help, but I'm sure we're going to do it and have a lot of success come this fall. So thanks again. We'll see you all tomorrow.